The no, no, I forgot. Where did we end?
All right, so David, thank you for taking the time to talk with me today. I know you're super busy. I got a lot on your plate, but I really appreciate the opportunity to have this discussion with you and kind of get to know you more, get to understand a little bit more about the inner workings of Microvellum.
Thanks, James. Thanks for coming out all the way. You came out from Salt Lake yesterday all the way here to do this. I really appreciate it. I really do. Thank you very much for being here.
You're welcome. It's always fun coming here. This was kind of a special trip. I was able to bring my wife this time and kind of show her around. So now she knows what I do or where I've been when I come here. So it's been great. And the drive was as scenic as it could get, given the smoke right now. But it's a beautiful place. We love coming here. I love coming here. It's always had a nice, welcoming feeling, especially the company coming here, being able to talk to everybody here, whether it's the owner of the company or anybody else as part of the team. It's great to have that camaraderie, and I think that exemplifies a lot of your leadership, and I'd like to kind of discuss that with you. How would you describe your leadership style?
Well, I'd really like to start a bit about why I wanted to be a leader. So from the youngest memories that I have, I always felt just a affinity to help my friends and help people that I went to school with kind of along their path. And so when I got the opportunity to become the owner of Microvellum, I really had to think a lot about it. But more than think about it, I was praying about whether this was something that I wanted to do with my family and with my life, and if it was something that I was cut out to do. And so there was in the Bible, there's a parable of the talents, and there's three servants that get some money basically from their master, and they invest. Two of them invest the money, and one of them doesn't. And so what that parable is saying is when the master came back, the servants that invested their money were rewarded with more, and the one that didn't got nothing and was cast out. And so for me, it was telling me that I have not money. I'm not talking about money, but I have talents that I've been given that I wanted to share with others and to grow and to get better at them. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I did it. That's the main reason.
And right. Paying it forward.
And really our purpose here is to equip our clients and our team to reach their potential. And so as I thought about that statement and kind of tying that back into why I love what I do as a leader here, it just kind of fit.
Right. And, I think that pay it forward leadership style has trickled down to the other departments and even beyond that to a lot of the users as well. Have you seen similar things, and how would you describe what you have seen based on that type of leadership?
Yeah, I think part of that leadership is being humble enough to know that you don't have all the answers, and that you rely on the people that are on your team, or relying on clients such as yourself at one point in time when you could influence what we were doing, and having your ears open and having that kind of spidey sense or that radar on about what are they really saying is super key. And so having that influence with the leaders at the company and putting them in charge and letting them execute is really key. And so that I trust the people that work here to do the jobs that they've been given, and they lead it. And all I really have to do to lead is do nothing. I just watch everything else and make sure that the stuff outside doesn't prevent them from continuing to do what they need to do.
Awesome. And I think that's you said something there that uh, really stood out to me, and especially back when I was a user of the software and not particularly part of the team. Kind of a voice of the users, and I think that's, to me, that was one of the things that drew me in more to the software. The leadership was, I had a voice. I was able to influence the software, and I've seen many other users have that same impact. And I think that's really one of the coolest qualities, and that's definitely been more relevant, especially in the last several years. I know this last year has been, you know, pretty crazy with changes all across the board. What kind of changes have come from the users' voices that you've been able to, lead and guide your team towards?
I think if I was to sum it up in a statement, it would be finish what you started. I mean, that was it. We are capable people, but we had a tendency to kind of get a little bit fractured on what we were working on, and so that distracted us from really accomplishing our mission. And so when we could focus and really dig in and listen to what they were saying is finish what you started, then it all kind of starts to work much better, and we then meet our purpose better, which helps everybody to reach their potential even better and faster.
Right. So part of reaching potential is having the right knowledge, the right kind of education. I know recently you were invited to be part of the, let me get this right, and correct me if I'm wrong, the AWFS Education Committee. Is
That's
that
right.
okay?
That's right.
And can you explain kind of what your responsibilities will be as part of that committee?
Well, right now I'm just learning a lot. There's I'm trying to get plugged in and figure out where I best fit in it. But my hope is that I can represent the software industry into the AWFS and help them understand the challenges that that our users have, and help them meet those challenges with education. So that's what I'm anticipating will happen, and so I'm positioning myself to help lead them there if I can.
All right. And education, not only just on the AWFS side, but I know there's a big emphasis on education, just for the user base, from a company perspective. What kind of things have been implemented to help our user base, get more um, out of the software and out of their education learning the software?
Yeah, I think we had a lot of material locked up behind a lock and key, so to speak, that we didn't really make available. So recently, about a year ago, we implemented the Microvellum Knowledge Network, which has everything's open, so you can research, learn. We've got curriculum actually that was developed, and we've got a video series coming out, a revised video series that is going to be available here in the next few weeks. Those are just some examples. We also invest in universities like Pitt State, Conestoga College, as well as high schools like Reed Custer High School, partnering among many others, partnering with our clients and them to help bring up the latest technology to students who might be looking for a really great career in this industry. So those are some of the key ways that we've kind of rounded off the education part at Microvellum recently.
Wow, nice. So how did that come about? I mean, what what led you to kind of want to pursue that route with education and being involved with schools and colleges to you know get people educated in the woodworking industry?
Well, it's easy to say you want to be involved with education, but until you really feel it, it's one of those things that I had an experience in college. I had an ERP company that donated software to this college. And as I got into it, I got more and more frustrated with the company because they really didn't back me. There was no resources. I had to find my way, and ended up with roadblock after roadblock. And finally, I just kind of gave up, and I actually have a bad taste in my mouth about it. So I really want to avoid that with those kinds of sponsorships that we do. And if we are going to do sponsor something in education, it's really important that we do it right, and that we do it wholeheartedly, and really for the betterment of the people that are in the industry. Again, if we can equip them to learn and be better people for the people that they work for, then that just helps everybody all around.
Yeah. So, speaking of, equipping users with the tools they need, I've heard the term agile development being thrown out there. What does that mean, and how does that change some of the dynamics for the company relationships as well as the relationships with the user base?
Well, the agile development movement really came out of the rapid development movement back in the 80s and 90s. And it really, what happened was companies would do these large implementations and they would never get done. And then by the time they started to implement, requirements had shifted. And so you end up with a miss. And so the whole thing around agile development is to speed up the process, to make them smaller incremental developments, get them in the hands of the users. We got caught up in not doing that, and it really delayed development, and defect rates went up. And so and actually I think the satisfaction of the developers and the testing team went down while that was happening. Since we've implemented that with the lead of our leadership of our head of development, things have improved rapidly. So again, the rapid software development techniques such as agile just really will have already helped get those features fixed, get features released and in the hands of the users in 6 weeks, in a 6-week cycle. Someday it could be even less than that. So that's what we're looking for.
All right. So in that 6-week cycle, along with you've got several other key members. What does that? What do those meetings consist of when you decide to kind of roadmap what things are going to be worked on? What goes into that whole process?
Yeah, so there's sort of a theme that needs to be decided upon first. So you're thinking, all right, what are we going to be focusing on? Speed, ease of use, a new feature, stability, something like that. So you first kind of think about those things, and then there's a infinite amount of things that you could do. Almost, it seems like you'd never get done, which is great. That's why I love software, because it's always moving and you can solve so many problems with it. And so anything that you can do manually, you can automate, and software does that. So looking at those things and remembering what our users said, which is finish what you started, really kind of helps you hone in on it. So we have a process where product development and product management and the development teams, whether it's data or software, get together with me, and we meet every week actually to go through that. But at the onset of that 6-week cycle, we decide, all right, is it a speed improvement? Is it a stability improvement? What is it going to be? And so doing that, we're able to then turn it around and see the results in a quick period of time. And then our users get to see the benefit, and then we get their feedback on the community, and it just kind of works together in a cycle.
So,
Agilely.
Yeah. So you mentioned the community there. That's it. Really is a community. It's not just. I've used the term user base, but it really is more of a community. Again, I think this is kind of that trickle down effect from the leadership style. is the community has been energized and they're out there, willing to help other users in their knowledge. Um, I mean, how important to you is it that we have a community like that?
We always have. We just kept it under lock and key. And so this community is a tool for them to collaborate in a way that is meaningful. And so about a year ago, we made this community open and free. It's open to the world. Anybody can join for free. And before we just didn't have that. And so, but that's just the tool. The people were there, and they're the DNA of the users. They represent the DNA of the users across the globe. And so to give them a place where they can contribute, work with you, listen to you, see what we've got going, to participate in the videos and get after the information on the knowledge network, or find the syllabus, or post a job, or talk about something with, shop talk kind of a thing if they want to get in on it, or maybe say something that is a little hard to hear, potentially, like maybe we made a bad decision, or, maybe we need to fix something. It all kind of goes back to being humble, being, we don't have all the answers all the time, and participating with them on the journey, listening and accommodating where we can.
So why is there such a push for continuous improvement? What's the need for it?
We're never done. We're never done. For me, it can't go fast enough. I wish we could go faster. I want to go faster with it. But there won't ever be an end to it. No matter, that's good, right? We don't want it to end. We want to just be always innovating, always serving, and always just providing value. And so if we stop, we'll be irrelevant in a second. And I don't want that. That won't happen with this company.
Right. No, and that's very admirable. I mean, I really don't see a lot of owners who kind of have that mentality. And I think that's, a very important quality that you have. Again, it's trickled down throughout the ranks, whether it's in the company or through the user base. Um, and another thing that I've really come to enjoy is, along with the community, is you've instilled a sense of family. Um, Being part of the team now, but even before that, I had a sense of belonging here. What is it that makes you want to have that kind of environment here, and what has led you to instill that type of environment here?
I believe that a team makes a better decision than a single person. More often than not all the time, but more often than not, a team with the right environment, when they're given the freedom to think critically and have the trust like a family does, that we're going to do better more often than not together as a team, as a family. And so I think it kind of goes back to the purpose, which is equipping our team and our users to reach their potential. And so the best way to do that is allowing them the freedom to innovate, to make a mistake, to recover from that mistake and move on. And so philosophically, it's important as a leader to enable that environment very much. I think that that's the key to our success for now and for the future.
Awesome. Yeah, and I would agree, completely. Just the teamwork level is something that I haven't really experienced at this kind of level, to be honest. And so, for for potential clients who are looking to partner with Microvolume, what can they come to expect from joining joining up with Microvolume?
I think that if we could mirror how we behave in every one of our clients, and the ones that do that already are the ones that are most successful. When we sort of mirror each other, where we take accountability and responsibility for what's happening, those are the ones that typically do much better, probably in industry. They're probably more successful in what they do in their business. And so I would look at how we behave and expect that we expect them to behave a lot that same way. And when that happens, there's magic that occurs. There's an understanding that we're in this together, we're a team, and we will create a positive outcome together, not just because you paid us or we paid you or whatever it is.
Yeah. So I can imagine that even if the role was switched a little bit, and this wasn't for a client looking to partner, but a person looking to join the team, that that those same qualities are going to exist. That kind of ownership and accountability and teamwork. Um, what else would somebody looking to join the Microvolume team, be able to expect?
Well, I think there's an authenticity to the individuals that are here, that they're straightforward, transparent. They're kind of realistic about what can and can't be done. But there's also a tenacity of trying to solve a problem together, trying to get to and apply different forces, whether it's services or a tool or software itself, in a creative way to kind of get to the root. I think those are really special characteristics that Microvellum and the team here really have. And I think kind of coupling hard work and determination to create those outcomes is what makes us really special.
All right. So part of striving for improvement means creating positive outcomes. How do you do that? How are you creating positive outcomes?
I think if you look at the kind of service that we provide, so again, we were talking about the teamwork and coming up with a creative solution. It all stems from just providing that rock solid service that we're trying to emulate across the board, whether it be internally for something that we do for each other to respect each other here at the company, inside in the family, so to speak, or externally with a client or a industry partner, same thing. So being there, saying what we're doing what we say, just being the kind of supplier that a client would want to have. And that's really key in providing rock solid service. It is unvariable, and we are striving to do that. So being true to who we are and providing that service helps really create those kind of outcomes that we're known for.
So David, anyway, I wanted to thank you again for taking the time to talk with me today, and to, talk about your leadership style, the direction that the company has been going as far as, user experience and the improvements there, the improvements with the software. It's been great to get to know you, get to know more about what to look forward to, and know that it's not just going to stand still. It's going to continue to move forward. And just wanted to really, thank you again for the opportunity to be here as part of the team and to talk with you. So thank you very much.
James, thanks. It's really encouraging to have you here and to get to know a little bit more about Microvellum, and I just enjoyed our time together. So I appreciate you coming out, and thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.